Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks DIY Garage. I have decided to go back and start revamping some of my older videos. A couple reasons. YouTube is really not paying well right now, and so that'll kind of give me some content that I can put up instead of putting new videos up 3 times a week, because I just can't keep up that kind of content and do the kind of videos I want to do. Without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, before we begin here, everything went so awesome on this video, and then I went to look at it on the camera and I apparently completely lost my mind. I do know that this is a valve stem, and this is a Schrader valve. First of all, you want to take and look, is there any weights on here? And on this side there's not, but sometimes, and this is where I like to usually put them if I'm having somebody do it. If I'm doing it myself, I'll put them on front. With that machine it's a lot easier. But anyhow, there is a weight here. So this tire machine actually comes with a little, I don't know if you can see that. This is for taking off and putting on old wheel weights. Grab that and pry up on it. You can kind of see where you grab into that hole right there and just pry it up. Next, you're going to put the tire on there. Now this, for some reason, will not stay forward. So usually these will kind of stay forward and then run into the thing. There's like I think there's a spring down in there that I need to replace. But usually, it'll kind of fall into a spot somewhere on the wheel where it'll actually work. Of course it didn't, because I'm on camera. There we go. Okay, then you have this right here. This should come with your machine. If it doesn't, you're going to have to get one. That goes on there like that. Now pull the air out. Now it's going to get loud, and I'm going to go ahead, once I'm done with that, shut off the camera until the air's gone. And keep your valve stem, it will pop out of it. And then this comes in. We got the air out of it. I'm going to go ahead, and I got some, what is this? Super Clean and water mixed together here. Probably going to have to mix some more. I'll put that on there, and that'll just kind of lubricate it so that hopefully it kind of comes off a little easier once the lubrication gets down in there. Got my Super Clean here. Now some people might not put the lubricant on first because it can make the machine a little bit slippery, but I do, because it lets a little bit of it down in here. And this is an old machine. It's gonna work a little harder than your average brand new machine that you see in the tire shop. So this piece here goes over the lip of your wheel here, and this piece pushes down. Be careful, pay attention, because I have broken a couple wheels, aluminum wheels with this thing. Luckily they were my own, and they were old ones that I didn't want anyway. But I was just trying to get the tires off. But anyhow, be careful. Then you got a little lever down here where your foot goes. You're going to push forward on this and up on this. Now up underneath here, towards the back of the tire, there is also something that will come up from underneath and push on the bottom bead here. So all that will happen simultaneously. Hopefully you can see this. I'll try and stay out of the way here. Hear both beads go there. You may have to kind of strike the bead a little bit more on the bottom of this one, but we'll try it where it is here. Then you have this here. You're going to use this side here, the side with the little nub on it, little ball on it, not this side here, for doing this part. You're going to get underneath here. You're going to push this up this way, and it will latch over the top of this. Probably have to do this a few times. If I'm lucky, maybe once. We'll see. Usually this is a little easier. Now I hold this here. As you can see, it can flip off. I've actually had this come up and smack me, so I put my hand here. Some people say don't do that. I don't know why, but I guess I'll learn someday maybe why. But for now, I keep my hand on it because it hurts when it comes up and whacks you. Alright, there's that. You're going to kind of pull your tire forward here. You're going to take that same ball in, and it's got a curve to it. You want to put the curve on the other side of the tire so it kind of lips around the edge of the tire. Then you're going to pull this up, get that up underneath there, put that on there, and as I'm going to pull up on this as I'm pushing on the lever. Also, these I believe are somewhat directional, and I've chosen the direction I want to put them on. You guys can figure out what direction you want to put yours on. And I'm going to go ahead and spray both sides really liberally with this Super Clean and water here. Now, make sure you add water to the Super Clean, because I tried this with just straight Super Clean and about killed myself. We had to leave the shop. It was so potent. So a little bit of the Super Clean with a lot of water goes a long way. Now, direction is that way. So we're going to put this on here. Then you get this again. Now instead of this side, like we did taking it off, we're going to use this side. And this little lip right here, it goes, hooks on your wheel. And then your tire slides through this part right here. And it's going to go around and it's going to pop on there, we hope. This takes a little bit more effort than taking it off. Alright, so this lip around the edge of the wheel. Then I'm going to get the tire kind of in between there, and I'm going to turn this tire best I can around this. Put my hand here, I'm going to push down right at here. Watch this thing doesn't come up and hurt you. Go ahead and put it on the button. Hope for the best here. And she pops on. Alright, and then you're going to put your tire forward like that. Hook this around the lip again. Hook that there. You're going to take your tire, do exactly the same thing on this lip here. You're going to put the tire in between the tool and the wheel. And you're going to turn it until it kind of screws itself on, basically. So what this is basically it's at an angle that helps it screw on. Now this part, again, you're going to want to push down quite hard right here, and if it won't go on, I have another little trick. This is the hardest part on this machine because it just doesn't have quite the power. So we're pushing down here, and we're going to follow this around and push down on it. Now, big thing, do not get your fingers up underneath here, because if it pops out or falls back, this tire will kind of come up and put some pressure on it, and it'll hurt your little pinky. So keep your hand out on the side, on the edge even maybe a little bit, and push. Now if you don't get so lucky with this machine, I've used it several times, and it takes a while to get used to this machine. You're not going to do it like I did it the first time on most everybody's not going to pick that up that quick. Even it took me a while to remember how to use one of these because it had been quite a while since I worked in my uncle's shop, and it took me quite a while, and I didn't do it a ton there either because I was real young at that time. But get yourself a BFH hammer, and instead of using your hands, if it's really being a bear, don't hit your wheel, hit the edge of the tire like that as this goes around, and it will pop on. This will just give you that extra little oomph to get her going. Usually if you get a good whack right in the right spot, it'll just all of a sudden go around and pop on. hook that baby on there. A lot of people, oh great, that doesn't want to come on. Don't put the valve stem in. I seem to have better luck when I do. I don't know why, but I put the valve stem in. Because that way, if for some reason something falls off or dislodges, the air is not going to come out and you're going to lose your bead. It takes a little bit to get a bead. I also don't have a way, like I said, to have the air automatically go in. So I take my little Harbor Freight clippy thing here and I'll push this down. Oh, you got to be kidding me. It's going to actually seat by itself. I'm getting so lucky. I can't believe I'm filming this right now. I can just blow this up and seat it. Normally, what I would do is put this on here, clip it, and the air would come into it. And then I would already push down on this. I would have pushed down on this first, to be honest, to seat the bottom. Make sure the bottom's seated. I already did that. Then, to get the top seated in, as I was letting air go in, I would pull up like that on both sides really hard, and that would pop the top on, let the air hit, and it would seat. For some reason I'm filming right now and everything is going absolutely perfect, which is almost bad in your case because you don't learn as much that way, but hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. But here we go. Now we get to have the fun part. And if you have any little kids that never heard this before, you stand them right here and you put the air in it and you just tell them, you know, go ahead and put the air in. You let them sit here and push it. And this is what happens. Boom! And you know what? They will drop this thing and run across the shop. It's just hilarious. Some of you might not like me for that one, but it is hilarious. My dad did it to me. I did it to my kids. You can do it if you want or not, but it will scare the crap out of people if they've never heard it before. And you gotta hear it. Yep. Boom, another one. You might even hear a couple in the back. That's on. And now I'm going to show you how to use one of these old bubble level balancing machines. So basically, what you do is you just take it and you push up on that lever. As you can see, the bubble's over here. So if the bubble's over here, you got to put the weight on the side that the bubble's on. Try and get it as close as you can. Now, so far I've gotten lucky because I'm filming this. I've actually been real lucky filming this too, but 2 of the tires I've done, I've been able to reuse the weights and been right in the bubble. So we'll see. Hopefully this one works. If not, I'm going to have to go buy some more weights. You can't really find lead weights much anymore. I got a few of them, but because this is a square-edged wheel, most of mine don't have the correct weight. This little piece here doesn't fit on them. Most of mine are for older wheels. Anyhow, so let's see if we get lucky here. So the bubble's here. I'm going to take and follow down to the edge of the wheel and just set that carefully right on there. And I'm going to need more weight. So I did not get lucky this time. Now, what you can buy nowadays, if I can't find another one of these that's a little bit heavier, you actually buy stick-on weights. They got on the back of them just a peel and stick, double-sided tape stuff. I don't believe they're made out. They might be made out of lead still. I don't know. They're made out of pretty soft metal, whatever they are. And you just got to clean your wheel off really, really good and stick it on. Something else that I have seen people not do, and it might not make a difference here. Well, I'm not going to mess. Make sure your valve stem cover is on. It's a small, minute amount, but a small, minute amount can change the difference in where you need to place your weight on your wheel. And if you're using one of those fancy chrome ones or some big dice one or something like that, that's even heavier. So make sure that whatever valve stem cover you're going to have, you put that back on there before you do this. Now I've got to go find some more weight. Well, I believe I got lucky. I believe I have one here that should work. So that's where I want it. Put this down and make sure this is on here good. And you're going to wrap it right across the top here a little bit. Not super hard. It doesn't take much at all. Until it kind of goes down and hooks around the bead. And I usually give it just a couple taps here and we'll send it home. Just tap it on, and that is on there perfect. That's not going to go nowhere. And check it once again. And you probably can't see that. If you can see it, the dead center bubble there. So I am extremely ecstatic with how this whole thing has come out. Well, thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.